Alright, hello people, I'm the Dude and this is my review rant of all things for March 2013. This will be the third, fourth one I've done, I think, something like that in the series. Today, for this particular monthly review rant, I have created a playlist. Probably the easiest way to find it, go to my channel page, go to browse videos, and it'll be one of the top ones on the playlist. I don't think it posts playlists to subscribers. Maybe there's a way to set that up, I don't know. But it's this one right here. March 2013 Rant playlist. Everything I'm going to be talking about in the video, there is a little trailer or, some kind of gameplay footage or something attached in this playlist right here. So it should give you something to look at to know what I'm talking about. Someone was complaining there's not enough video footage. That would take forever to edit in. This is supposed to be an easy, simple thing that I can, just produce. And if I start editing in footage from all the things I'm talking about, that would take massive amount of time. It's just not going to happen. So hopefully the playlist will satiate them. Vocabulary word of the day, folks. Okay, so March 2013. I think we'll start with new things like I did last time. Don't know what that is. I should have looked that up, but I didn't even notice it. From Up on Poppy Hill. Okay, interesting title. Spring Breaker's gonna suck. Evil Dead surprised me. The Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, great stuff. This one looks more serious than funny, whereas Evil Dead was more funny than serious. This one, it looks like it's flipped around, but it looks damn good. The trailer looks really good. I'm seriously looking forward to this. I had no idea this was even coming until I decided to do this this rant and just happened to look at the front page. This looks good. I'm hoping it's as good as it looks. The Call, it's got, oh, what's her name? My memory sucks. Halle Berry. It's got Halle Berry in it. She is a phone operator for the police. Someone calls in, she gets them killed, apparently, and then the killer keeps going after girls and they keep calling, and for some reason she's always on duty, I guess. But at some point she's going to help a person escape from the killer or whatever. It's been done. I don't know if it's been done as a call dispatcher, probably, but I know it's been done before, where someone's in danger, they call someone and that person has to try and help them. But it looks, I don't know, it looks okay. I've never been a huge fan of Halle Berry. She's attractive, obviously, she always has been, but as far as, like, acting chops, she's somewhere in the middle of the pack. She's never been amazing. She's never stood out, in my opinion. So, Plus, she's been in a lot of really crappy movies. But, it looks okay, I guess. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone looks awful. It's that really terrible kind of cheesy-ass comedy that, I don't know, I've never really got into that lowbrow, no, not even lowbrow, because, I mean, that's not really it. It's just, I don't know how to put it, no talent comedy, no effort put into it at all comedy. The easiest kind of comedy you could ever make. It looks terrible. I'm just going to be honest. Games, Tomb Raider, I'm thoroughly uninterested. I was big into the first Tomb Raider, played the second one quite a bit, and that's it. I stopped playing after that. I lost interest. This one's kind of a reboot in that it's got some of the same kind of gameplay, but it's got a ton of changes. It's like, what is it called? There's a new game series, I think it's 3 games up to this point, where Nathan Drake, is that what it's called? Something like that. He's running around exploring, finding artifacts, and shooting dudes and all that stuff, climbing on things. It's basically that. It's that game again, except with the Tomb Raider title, from what I can tell. And, I'm not interested. It's not really Tomb Raider anymore. Especially from what I've heard about the story. It's really not Tomb Raider anymore at all. So, they tried to be too much like that Nathan Drake game. I don't know what the title is. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm thoroughly uninterested. StarCraft 2, some kind of expansion. I thought StarCraft 2 was a really well-made, polished game that just wasn't that interesting. I wasn't big into the multiplayer. I'm just going to say that right now. If you're big into the multiplayer, I'm coming from a completely different perspective than you. I came from just a single player. I didn't care about the multiplayer, and it wasn't that interesting. I mean, people were raving about the storyline for it. I thought it was par for the course for this type of game. I mean, it had high production values, but as far as like the story itself and the characters, it was okay. And the gameplay was, I liked it a lot. I liked the gameplay more than I liked the story. They took what StarCraft II did right and they didn't fuck it up, and they added in a bunch of other cool stuff. I love the walkers. I love the Protoss. Period. I mean, they were always my favorite race, and they just have some really cool new units. So as far as the gameplay goes, StarCraft II gets the thumbs up, but as far as everything else, it was just kind of par for the course for me. It was, it's okay. And I never got into the multiplayer, because if I did, I'd probably never stop. I mean, that thing is so fucking competitive. It's one of those games where if it's a multiplayer game and it has a really competitive scene, I kind of get sucked in because I want to do really well. I don't want to be one of the ones that's casual and just sucks and gets raped by everyone. That doesn't work for me. So I kind of bypass the multiplayer altogether for StarCraft 2. Because like I said, I mean, it's extremely competitive. I'd have to clock massive amounts of hours to even be half decent, and I just don't want to do that. New God of War game, if they don't fuck it up, if they keep to the formula, it'll be good. They've always been good. I mean, I've liked them all. I've never done a video on it. I don't think I've talked about it, but I've always liked God of War. Love the first one. The second one, in my opinion, was even better than the first one. Since then, the series hasn't been as good, but it's still all been, you know, really well made and fun to play, and it's like a brawler, basically. It's like a mix between a brawler and a Devil May Cry, because it's got some depth to the combat. The only problem is the game isn't hard enough for you to need that depth. Those games, those like Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, and all that, they live and die by the difficulty. If the game's not hard in that type of game where you have you know, really hard combos and timed moves and all that stuff, like timed blocks and counters and all that, if the game's not difficult, none of that stuff matters, and the game becomes boring. So, but God of War, it's always been fun, because it's more like a brawler. You know, it's more like a beat 'em up kind of. I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, always been good. Always liked it. Always liked Kratos because he just doesn't give a fuck. Kratos is awesome. So yeah, I'll play this one definitely. Gears of War, I haven't cared since the first game. I liked the first game decently well, but there was too many things core to the gameplay that they just stuck with that I never really liked. Never liked the way you run. Never liked the way they had that sticky-ass, weird fucking cover mechanic. I did like that you could blind fire. A lot of games at that time didn't have blind fire. But now fucking everyone has it, so who cares? Never liked the story. Never liked the characters. I did like the atmosphere of the first game, but they lost that in the continued ones. Especially that level where you're driving around with that big-ass flashlight on top of your whatever kind of truck that thing was. That was a really cool level. I liked that a lot. And if you played it on hard mode with a buddy in co-op, no end to the rage, because someone was always doing something wrong during that level. You know, either the guy was driving for shit or you couldn't aim the flashlight. But yeah, it had a lot of really cool moments in the first game. I liked it. But after that, it seemed like it was just kind of formulaic. You know, it was just more of the same. And it just didn't appeal to me. So this probably won't appeal to me. I'm going to be honest. SimCity I'm going to talk about in the rant portion. TV. House of Cards, I've heard the name. I don't know much about it. Vikings, it's made by the History Channel. If you know anything about me, I love the History Channel. I love National Geographic, Discovery, all that stuff. I usually have them going in the background when I'm playing a game. Not recording, obviously, because then I'd get copyright popping up left and right. But when I'm not recording, I usually got one of those channels going in the background. Or music, one of the two. But yeah, I looked at the trailer for it. There's multiple trailers. It's been playing on History Channel. It just looks good. It just looks really good. I'm going to have to check it out. Obviously, it's about Vikings, and it's History Channel, so it's going to be semi-realistic. You know, that should explain everything you need to know about it right there. It's Vikings, and it's the History Channel. The trailers look very 300-esque, look kind of dark and gritty and that kind of thing, but I don't know if the actual show is going to be like that. It is the History Channel. So, I don't know. We'll see. Bates Motel, if it's Hitchcockian at all, I'll probably love it. You know, probably good stuff. I haven't actually watched anything about it. The world according to Dick Cheney. I don't really care about politics. I hate that crap where that individual person makes a difference crap. No, they don't. They don't. Because even if you make the decision to try and make a difference, everyone else isn't going to. So, and we're never gonna, we're never gonna change anything meaningfully as a single person. And you'd have to be one of those guys that runs around and gets everyone's attention, and like parades and rallies and all that crap to make any real difference. And that's only on a local level, not a national level. So yeah, I don't really care about politics. The Bible, I really don't care about the Bible. I'm not anti-religious, don't get me wrong. I don't care what people believe in. I think that's fine. Whatever they want to believe in is fine, but I've never been religious, so I really don't care about a Bible series. Does not work for me. David Bowie, already knew about this. I've heard a little bit of it. Sounds pretty damn good. I love David Bowie. Always have. Again, if you've been with this channel for a while, you know I love David Bowie. Justin Timberlake, I couldn't care less. Devendra Banhart, I don't know who that is. Original soundtrack, Sound City. I don't know what the hell this is either. I'll check this out after. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi's a chick band, has always been a chick band, will always be a chick band. Women like to drool over him. I mean, I've never liked their music. They had like a couple of decent, and I stress decent songs in their first album, but they were never really anything special, honestly. It was Bon Jovi there for his looks and his hair, basically, and the stupid outfits that he wears. One of his album covers, he's wearing like this solid gold glittery suit. The entire thing, it just looks fucking ridiculous. But yeah, Bon Jovi, wow. I will most definitely not care in the slightest. But anyways, there's all the new stuff. Let's get into the stuff I've actually tried for this particular month. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Did I say that right? Yes. Okay, so this is a... I don't even know how to put this. It's like a drama, character piece / comedy, dark comedy. It's very confusing. The plot's really hard to follow in places, but it's Jim Carrey doing something other than the slapstick crap, and it kind of worked. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. It has a lot of actors in it. It has Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, Kirsten Dunst, Elijah Wood, that Furlough guy. Are the credits on here somewhere? Yes. What is his name? Furlough, Buffalo, something. Sorry, guy, but I don't know what your name is. I'm terribly sorry. Very unprofessional. Yeah, Ruffalo. Okay, Mark Ruffalo. Has a lot of people in it. And it was a good ride. I liked it. Did a lot of unusual things I didn't see coming. Obviously, there's going to be spoilers. There's spoilers in all these rant review things I do. So from here until the end of the video, just expect spoilers. Jim Carrey is dating Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet dumps him. He wants to erase her memories from his mind. So he goes to some kind of quack doctor guy, and they set it up. They put him under, and they're erasing his memories. He's reliving the memories as they're erasing them in his mind, but he can't actually communicate with them. He's unconscious. And halfway through the procedure, he decides he doesn't want to lose Kate Winslet. He doesn't want to lose the memories. So he's fighting to hide his own memories from these people who are trying to erase them. And you have this really cool dynamic between the people in, I don't want to say the real world, the conscious people, the people who are conscious erasing his memories, and his unconscious world, which is completely, off the wall and batshit crazy. And he can actually hear them talking. And as they're erasing memories, he feels them, he feels himself losing them in his unconscious mind. It's really cool. The dynamic between the two. And, it's a race against the clock. He's losing the memories, and he keeps trying to hide them and trying to save them. And the whole time, Kate Winslet is in his head with him. His memory of Kate Winslet is in his head. And they're doing the whole, romantic angle and the comedy together, which the comedy was pretty good. Not amazing. It's not like Jim Carrey's best or anything, but it was good. And the ending was pretty cool. I didn't see the ending coming. I thought I saw the ending coming. I didn't. It was something entirely different. So, yeah, I liked it. I liked the movie quite a bit. 2 thumbs up. 89, yeah, that sounds about right. 9 out of 10. 8.8, yeah, I'll go with that. That sounds pretty good. Well worth a watch. I don't love Kate Winslet, but she's never been bad in my opinion, at least not that I've seen. She's just kind of there. She's kind of background scenery for me. Uh, Jim Carrey, I used to hate him early on. When I was a kid and he did a lot of slapstick crap like Ace Ventura and all that other garbage that he put out back then. I used to hate him back then. And then he tried to reinvent himself and kind of failed. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. I think now he's finally getting it. Lately, the past few years, he's been making movies that aren't 100% comedy, and they're actually good, what I would call good movies. So I think he's finally getting there. I mean, he's had a lot of pure dramas that worked, before the last few years. Like, what's the one that comes to mind? The Majestic was good. The one where he's in a bubble, the whole city knows that it's fake. It's like a reality show or whatever you want to call it, but he doesn't know. I forget what the thing's called. Truman Show. That was good. But it seems like he was off and on back then. Like he'd have a good movie and then have several terrible ones and then have a good movie. I think now he's finally hit his stride, so to speak. He's pumping out a lot of decent movies. So, of course, he's also doing that stupid ass slapstick crap with Steve Carell, where they're magicians or something. So he'll probably be right back down. I don't know. I guess he'll never really be consistent, is what I'm getting at. And I'd love I'd love it if he was, because when he's good, he's good. But when he's bad, he's really, really bad. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. Oh yeah, and I wanted to say they used ELO in the trailer. Electric Light Orchestra. Loving that. That was good. You don't hear them enough. But anyways, let's see. Frequently asked questions. I think it's like about time travel. Is that how the title goes? Frequently asked questions. It's something time travel. It might not even be on here because it's it's like a made-for-TV movie. So it might not even be on here. But no, it doesn't look like it. But it was a really entertaining little B-movie comedy. It's about these three friends. They're in a bar. They stumble on a way to travel through time. It's not big budget. It's very low budget, so you're not going to see like dinosaurs or anything crazy like that, or futuristic laser guns and all that stuff. None of that really happens. It's more of a character piece about the main character and his buddies and how they react to what's happening to them and how they bungle through time and screw things up. And it's very soft science, but it's very fun. The comedy's good. I liked it. It was entertaining. Especially the what is that song? Total Eclipse of the Heart. The two different scenes. There's actually two singing scenes with Total Eclipse of the Heart. The second one was really good, where they're like doing the conga line thing, trying to repeat what he did to make the time rift thing appear again. Just a lot of really cool moments in the movie. I liked it a lot for what it was. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's not a big budget movie. There's not name brand actors. It's not going to blow you away. But for what it was really fun. I liked it. I think it should have been a series, if I'm being honest. It had that kind of TV series feel to it. And that, like, the movie itself was the pilot episode. If it had been a series, I'd have kept watching it. Because, they would have had me hooked. I liked it quite a bit. I liked the characters. I liked the comedy. It wasn't overblown. There was no dead space throughout, the movie. The movie was moving at a good clip. So, yeah, I liked it. But, yeah, it felt like a TV series, and it wasn't. Very disappointing. Because I wanted more. Obviously, I can't find the score on here. I don't know what I'd give it. Maybe a 7. Something above average. 6, 7, something like that. It was good. Kung... Is it 2 words? Kung Fu? Strike? Is it... I don't know if it's 2 words. I think it's 2 words. Yeah, there we go. The Warriors Rise. This is the standout for this month, out of things I've tried this month. This game is dirt cheap. It's an indie game, and it's fucking amazing. I mean, it looks really damn good. It plays smooth as hell. There's no bugs or glitches or crashes or freezes or any of that stuff. And most importantly, it is balls-tighteningly hard. If you put it on the hardest difficulty, this game will kick your ass. I mean, if you like fun and you like hard, this is your game. Because this game is fun and it's really, really hard. I still haven't beaten it on the hardest difficulty. There's something like, I think it's 20-something stages or something like that, like 24, don't quote me on that, but something like that stages. And once you get past the first set, they're like in sets of 4. Once you get past that first set of 4, you start running into brick walls pretty quick. It's very simple controls. There's a jump move, there's a attack move, there's a dodge where you roll to the side, there's a counter which you're going to have to use quite a bit. This game forces you to use everything in your arsenal, literally. But that's around about it. I mean, it's a very simple control scheme, but it's very tight, very fluid, and it's very hard. The combat, you can't just button match. You get prompts that give you a very small window to change up your type of attack, and if you don't, they counter you instantly and do a fuck ton of damage. They'll get rid of like a quarter of a half of your health, something like that, if they counter you. The bosses. So yeah, it's very, very, very hard, but very fun. I think the first one that truly kicked my ass, well, actually, the samurai guy early in the game, he messed me up quite a few times, but I wasn't actually good at the game at that point. I think that was the first boss. I can breeze through him now. I've done it multiple times, but the first one that really just made me want to pull my hair out was the ninja chick that likes to counter. I mean, she counters everything. You can't even get 2 punches off before she counters over and over and over. She is irritating as hell. And then if by some small miracle you get her to half health, she splits into 2. So you're fighting 2 of them. And they just spam super moves, and when you try to hit them, they counter you and stun lock you. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Really, the saving grace for that fight is there's a ton of health. It's this big circular map, and there's these vases spread out across the circumference, and they've all got health in them. So yeah, if there wasn't that much health, I don't know if I'd ever beaten that, because she is hard. Everything you do, she counters constantly. I finally got to where I stopped trying to counter her, and I stopped trying to dodge. I'd hit her, she'd go to counter, right? I'd push the button prompt, she'd bounce off, and then I'd start punching her again, she'd go to counter, and you have to have really good timing to continue the attack with her. She's gonna constantly try to counter you, and whenever she splits into 2, good fucking luck, because you can't block them both at the same time, and the counter has a delay to it, so you can't constantly counter every single attack they're throwing at you. It just gets really, really tough. And then the one I'm stuck on right now is this guy who throws these little Chinese star shard things constantly. He throws out masses of them. They all heat seek. He shoots them out constantly, literally the entire fight. He shoots them on some waves, and then if you try to hit him, every single hit throws some out. So they're constantly like filling the entire arena. And the heat seek, they follow you around, and you have to counter each one individually. And there's a million of them. It is hard. It is really, really difficult. Probably the easiest boss was the old man. I didn't have much trouble with him. He has this little mechanic where he creates these little circles on the ground. If you're fighting him normally, he's easy as hell, but if you step into the circles, he's gonna stun lock you and do like half your health in one combo. So you have to stay out of the circles, but the circles move with him as he moves. It's a little tricky, but I didn't find it to be too hard. He was probably the easiest of all the bosses, in my opinion. But even him, he took a couple of tries. I mean, I didn't even know what the circles were the first time they popped up, and I kept getting raped. I had to figure it out. Because if you stand in them for more than like a second, he instantly locks you into this big-ass combo. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variety to the game. I mean, the combat is just really satisfying when you get it done. When you succeed one of those boss fights. Even the generic fights with just regular enemies can kick your ass if you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to on the hardest difficulty. I played it on the second hardest. It was difficult. And then I'm on the hardest one now. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Master Mode or something like that. It is crazy how hard this game is. But good stuff. Really good. 3 thumbs up. This review is ridiculous. Dude, neither one of them got it right here. I would have given it a 10 out of 10, honestly. Or at the very least a 9, 9.5, 10, something like that. There is nothing bad about this game. Nothing. I mean, yeah, I can't think of a single thing I didn't like. Everything is good. It deserves that score. These scores are just terrible. I can only assume they scored it like this because, like I said, the game's difficult. It will kick your ass. Maybe they don't like difficult games. That's really the only thing I can think of. And if you don't like difficult games, don't play it. I mean, I warned you. This game is hard, Find a different game. But if you like difficulty, you will love this game. And like I said, it's an indie fucking game, too. For how good it is, it's indie, and it's really cheap, and good stuff. I cannot rave about Kung Fu Strike enough. Let's see. Torchlight 2. Torchlight 2. Okay, it's not on here. Only Torchlight 1 is on here. That's interesting. I don't know why. It's a mainstream game, but anyways, Torchlight 2. Diablo-esque game, dungeon crawler. You have multiple classes. You run around killing things, try to get to bosses, continue the storyline, find loot. You have skill trees. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink. Oh, much better. Very Diablo-like. You could call it a Diablo clone. Everyone calls everything in this genre a Diablo clone. It's apt. It's accurate. But yeah, it was fun. I liked it. If I had to complain, it wasn't hard enough. Diablo 2 was definitely more difficult in spots than this game ever was. It's a very simple game as far as the control scheme and how it plays. One thing I did like quite a bit is the skill system and the stats. Basically anyone can do whatever the hell they want, regardless of character. You could have a mage running around with a two-handed sword if you wanted to, and because of the way the stats work, you could make it work. You could have a tanky mage. You could have the Berserker based around spell damage if you wanted to, because he has a couple of skills that have ice attacks. I think there's like 4 different ones that have ice attacks, and you could base him around focus, which is the mage stat primarily. Have him have a ton of mana and just be focused around ice damage. You could do that. There's a ton of variety in the way you can make your characters. And the second thing, like I said, the skill system, it doesn't require anything. You don't have to have the previous skills to get the higher ones. You just have to be a certain level. That's it. You don't need certain stats. You don't need to go through a branching skill tree system. All you need is the level, and you can get the skill, which is really cool. You could primarily focus on, like, let's say, the first tree, and then really late in the game you find something like in, let's say, the third tree. You don't need any of the other skills in that tree. You just need to be the right level. It's very, very cool. I love this system. There's a lot of freedom to it. That's probably my favorite thing about this game. Skill system and the character building. They're just really well made. The game looks nice. It sounds nice. There's variety in the classes. They feel different. They don't feel the same. They feel very different. I mean, yeah, it's just a good game. It's a good game. Torchlight 1 got an 8. I played Torchlight 1. I liked it. Yeah, about an 8. I love the Alchemist because I like pet classes. That's another complaint I have about Torchlight 2. There's really no true pet class where he has a whole tree focused on pets. The Engineer gets a couple of them. The Berserker gets, yeah, a couple of them. The Mage, I think, gets 1. And then the Outlander gets, I think, the Bats and maybe 1 other pet. So there's no class that's focused truly on pets. And another problem is the pets in this game, they all have a timer. Think of the summons from Diablo 2. Every pet in this game works like that. They all have a certain amount of time and then they run out. You have to keep casting them. You can't just cast them and they stay around as long as they have health, which is very irritating. I don't like that. But beyond that, I mean, like I said, there's no class that can just truly focus on pets. Have a whole massive army of pets following you around. There's not one that's designed that way, which is a very big letdown for me personally. Does that make the game bad? No. It's just that's my favorite type of class, and they don't really have it. But on the plus side, each class does have at least 1 pet, so that's something. Like the mage can create a clone of himself that has some of his spells, so that's kind of cool. Kind of like the assassin in Diablo 2. The engineer has this little robot dude that runs around and heals, kind of like the regeneration druid pet, and he has this big hulking like robot guy. I think that's it. I think there's only 2 he has, if I remember right. And then the Berserker has a wolf he can get early on. It doesn't last very long. It lasts like 1/3 the duration. I think it's like 30 seconds for a minute something cooldown, but it hits really hard. And later on he can get a swarm of wolves. Again, it doesn't last full duration, but it's cool that he has pets at all. And then the Outlander is probably the best as far as spamming pets. He has a move where every time he kills something, he has a % chance to spawn a bat. The % chance goes up to something like, I think at max level it's like 25 or 30 or something like that. So about every 3rd guy you kill, 1/4 the 3rd guy, you're going to spawn a bat. So he can kind of get an army going somewhat, I guess. He's probably the closest. I suppose. But I wasn't really feeling him either, so as far as the pet class, I did like all the classes. Like I said, they're very different, they're very fun. The skill trees are really cool. You know, they're really well made. Good stuff. I like Torchlight 2. I'm actually considering doing a Let's Play of it quite a bit, because I had a lot of fun with it. I actually want to go back through it and try some different stuff. Maybe. I don't know. I actually, I got ahead of myself before I even started playing the game. I made some videos. Those are just lying around. I haven't uploaded them because I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually go through with it. It was a combination of I made the videos, wasn't sure I liked the game. Happens a lot. I get overzealous and I make videos before I even know I love the game. I do like the game, so I know that for a fact now. Another problem is I don't want to stop playing the game to make videos. I'm into the game. I'm liking it. It's good. I want to play the thing. I don't want to slow down to make videos, and that kind of happened. I was liking the game. I wanted to keep going, and so yeah, I have some videos lying around. Just didn't get very far with it. But yeah, Torchlight 2, good game, well made, fun to play, good stuff. A couple of other Diablo clones, dungeon crawlers, whatever the hell you want to call them, that are really good that most people kind of missed. Titan Quest, really well made, really good everything. The story was better than average. I loved the class system, the variety in the class system. In that game, you pick 2 classes, and you combine them into one, which was really cool. I really, really liked that system. I wish more people would use that. But yeah, I mean, everything about the game I liked. I've beaten it 3 times or so, and I'll probably go back again and beat it again. It's just that good. It got no attention. Everyone skimmed over it. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why. It was a really good game. If you like Diablo, or dungeon crawling games, or loot whoring games, that kind of gameplay, go play Titan Quest. It was really good. It didn't get any of the attention it deserved. Darkstone, another one. That was a much older one. I think that was around about the time of Diablo 1. Around about that time period. But it had some really cool mechanics that no one else used. And it was fun. I liked it. It was a really good game. That got no attention. No one cared about it. I think if it doesn't have Diablo in the title and it's a dungeon crawling game, no one cares. So, yeah. But those are a couple other ones that you should probably check out if you like that genre. Let's see. The Wire. The Wire is an HBO TV series that somehow I missed, but I think this is it right here. But it's damn good. It's really, 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 really good. Series draws, yeah, Baltimore Police. Okay, so the series. It's kind of hard to describe. There's cops on one side, there's drug dealers on the other. The drug dealers are constantly trying to mix it up so they can't get caught, and the cops are constantly trying to get on the wire, get a wire up, or get some kind of, video on them, or something that they can use against them in court. And it's a back and forth. And most of the time, what's cool about it is the characters themselves. It's not so much the storyline. The storyline gets pretty repetitive throughout the seasons. It's basically they're doing the same thing. But the characters, how they go at it, and their dialogue, and all that stuff, and really, really entertaining. If I had one small complaint, it's that they killed off my favorite character. Although, in this case, they killed him off right at the end of the last season, and there's never going to be any more seasons. There's only going to be 5, so it's not that big of a problem. If they were continuing the series and they killed him off, then I would have been pissed. Because, I already said there's going to be spoilers, so I'm just going to tell you who it is. Omar. Omar was my favorite character throughout the series. I love McNulty. Everyone's supposed to love McNulty. He's the lovable, character in the series. He's the one you're supposed to be rooting for. I loved Lester. He's like this kind of father figure for the other cops. He's the brains behind the operation. He's the one always figuring things out for the most part and piecing things together. And I liked Bunk. Bunk was great. Him and McNulty have really good chemistry together. But yeah, I mean, I liked the cast as a whole. But I loved Omar. Omar was amazing. He was simultaneously the biggest badass in the show and the biggest underdog. Because he's always out on his own. Sometimes he has a couple of people with him, but he doesn't have a crew following him around. He doesn't have bodyguards, at the very beginning of the series, it was always Omar on his own. Then he kind of got this crew together to pull bigger jobs, and that kind of backfired on him. And then after that, they started killing off people he cared about, so he had to come at them hard. But I love his character. I love everything that happened to him. I love his attitude. I love how he robs the drug dealers. That's his day job. That's what he does. That's how he makes a living. He robs the drug dealers, the big badass drug dealers that are killing people off for so much as looking at them funny. He sticks it to them on a daily basis. I just love his character. And the way he died, I gotta give him credit. It was really interesting the way he died at the end of season 5. I'm not gonna spoil that, but I did not see that coming. I thought he was gonna get one up on Marlo and his crew. I thought Omar was gonna do what he always does. He always comes out on top somehow. But no, he doesn't. Not in season 5. But yeah, I mean, like, the back and forth between the drug dealers and the cops and how they keep changing up their tactics and trying to find new ways to get one over on each other. It's a really entertaining series with good characters. If anything, I'm sad that it's now over, but I'm always sad that a good series is over. HBO has a lot of good series. Of course, it has a lot of really bad ones, too. I'd say it's about 50-50. And they don't keep them around long enough. You know? They don't, the good ones, they don't keep them around long enough. In my opinion. I mean, they are HBO. They could keep these series going forever if they wanted to. God knows they got enough money. But anyways, yeah, The Wire. Good stuff. Let's see. America's Got Talent. I don't even know if it's on here. I mean, it's got to be on here, but... Talent. It's the newest... Yes, newest season. I think it's the newest season. I don't know if they've started 2013 yet. I would assume they have. I would suppose. But the one I watched was 2012. I had watched I think it was the first season and the second season, and this show was crap back then. I mean, it was garbage. I never watched anything else between now and then, but I watched the whole of 2012. David Hasselhoff's not in this. It's Howard Stern, Ozzy's wife, Sharon Osbourne, and Howie Mandel. Those are the 3 judges for 2012. I think it was season, I guess 6 or 7, something like that. But yeah, this season, like I said, I hated the first 2. This one was damn good. It's like they've hit the nail on the head how they need to make this type of show. And the best part about it was they didn't spend time on the shitty acts. They still show them so people can point and laugh and make fun of them and all that crap, but they get like a couple of seconds runtime. You know, they're kind of in like a montage, the crappy people. And the people who deserve the attention, the ones who, you know, blood, sweat, and tears in their craft, that kind of thing, they get the attention, they get the time. And I like that quite a bit. There's a couple of goofy acts that made it through, mainly because of stupid choices by Howie. Like, what was his name? Like, Fat something or another. The short fat guy who can't sing at all, he made it through because of Howie, and Howard reamed him for it. And then Howard reamed him for Ulysses, too. I didn't hate Ulysses. I thought he was kind of, you know, fun. Did I think he should win the show? No. But he wasn't terrible. I mean, it's not like he was missing the notes or fucking up the songs or anything. He just wasn't amazing. But yeah, I liked him. But let's see, my favorites for 2012. I really liked Donovan and Rebecca, the strength acrobat routine couple. They were damn good, and they were humble about it, and they never fucked anything up throughout the series. So many people made mistakes through the routines. They never did, and the things they were doing take ludicrous amount of balance and strength. I mean, they were spot on. They were extremely good. And the routines were always good, too. They were consistent. So I thought they deserved to go a little bit farther than they did. I think they made it to the second to last round of cuts, if I remember right. I think they deserve to be in the last round of cuts. But, you know, whatever. I'm obviously not a judge. The skateboardist guy, his name is Spencer something or another. I thought he was going to win the entire series at some point, because his first act with the claws, like these bladed claws were above him, and if he didn't get out of the locks fast enough, they were going to close on him and presumably kill him. Obviously, it's TV. That was never going to happen, but it looked good. And then his second act was even better. He was in this like tiny little box, this tiny little plastic box that was filled with water. His head was underwater, and he had to unlock all these different locks and get out before he drowned. That one was damn good. The problem was, just like Howard said, he screwed the pooch on his third one. His third act was terrible. You couldn't see what was going on, and that's not the way escape artists are supposed to work. You know, you don't hide it from the audience, otherwise they can't go ooh and ah, you know, what's happening. So yeah, he really screwed the pooch. I thought after his second act, I thought he was the favorite, and then he did so bad with his third act that he screwed himself. And then they brought him back, and his fourth act was so-so. It wasn't his best. It wasn't his worst. It was just kind of okay. The one with the cement. They were dumping cement on him, and he had to unlock the locks before the cement filled up. It was okay. It didn't have the danger that the first two had, in my opinion. But I liked him quite a bit. He was, like I said, he was my favorite. I wish he was more consistent. Element's dance crew was my favorite dance team or whatever. I don't really like dance. I don't go in for dance. I don't watch shows about dance. But I thought they were really cool. They were doing stuff I'd never seen before. It was very stylish. The one in the front had a really good showmanship. Their whatever you can call it, their front man, which was actually a woman, had really good showmanship. Apparently, from what I read, even though they won early in the season, they got moved through early in the season. They went to Vegas, which was where the elimination started, and their name wasn't called or something. They got confused and they left. So, yeah, they thought they were out, but they weren't. So we didn't get to see more of them, which was too bad, because I thought they were really good. I thought they might have had a chance to go really far. I don't know if they could have won, maybe, but I thought they were really good. The Lightwire crew, not much to say about them. I thought they were good, but, I mean, you know, if you've seen the series, you know exactly what they're there, why they're good. They have these bodysuits with lights attached to the bodysuits. They black out the theater, and then they move around giving you a show. Like, usually it was about dinosaurs and stuff like that, but it looked really good, really well made. They never made any mistakes, and it was something different on the show. So yeah, I liked it. What else? I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh, the Joe Cocker guy. I think his name's Tim something. He was fucking amazing. I thought after Spencer screwed the pooch, the escape artist, I thought that the Joe Cocker guy, Tim something, sorry, I can't remember his last name, I thought he was going to take the show, honestly. He was that good. He was damn good. Consistently good. His voice was amazing. He played really well. He was really emotional about the songs. You could tell he was vested in them. He was just damn good. I don't know how else to put it. I really thought he was going to win the show. But he ended up getting to, I think it was the last round of cuts, if I remember right. And so he went as far as he probably should have if he didn't win. At the very least, he got till near the end of the show. But yeah, he was really good. The guy who did the Earth Harp, I have no idea what his name is, but if you haven't seen the show, it's this series of strings that go all the way across the entire theater. They like go from the stage all the way up into the balcony, these giant strings, and he plays them with these huge gloves, these huge fuzzy gloves. It sounds really damn good. I'd never seen anything like it. He plays the instrument really well, especially the last song he did where he had a singer and multiple guys doing drums and all this stuff. It sounded damn good. He's another one that I thought could have won the show. Him and the Joe Cocker guy, I thought could have won the show. Spoiler, they don't, sadly. And then I think that's probably it for my favorites. How many ever that was, like 5 or 6 acts. Who did I think should have won? Like I said, probably the Joe Cocker guy, Tim something or another, or the Earth Harp, because they were both consistent and they were nothing like anyone else, and they were really damn good at what they did. But who did win 2012? 2 jackasses that trained dogs to do backflips and walk through hoops and, you know, just stand on their back legs, stupid shit like that. In other words, people who spent like 1/1,000,000th the time on their craft as everyone else won this season. It was a massive letdown. I looked back just to see what the other winners were from the previous seasons. They're pretty much all singers. So at least this isn't a consistently bad thing. People don't always pick animals for stupid reasons. I mean, it's about talent. It's not about 2 jackasses spending a couple of hours a day training their dogs to do tricks. I mean, that's not what the show's about. They really should not have won. But obviously America has no idea what talent is. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, very disappointed with the ending, but overall the show was really well made. I liked it a lot, enjoyed it. They had a lot of really good acts. Another thing that was overrated, other than the dogs, were the kids. I didn't think any of the kids were really that great, other than Edon. He had a great voice, and I thought maybe he could have won too. I didn't think he should, but I thought he was a contender. And then the group of kids that kept getting better and better throughout the series, their dancing was pretty crazy for how old they were. I'll admit that. They were pretty damn good. I mean, just completely ignoring their age, they were really damn good. So I thought they deserved to be there. But all the rest of the kids I thought were underwhelming. The Latin singer kid or whatever, he was fucking underwhelming. His voice sucked. The little girl that everyone loved that they thought was adorable, she couldn't dance for shit. I mean, not compared to anyone else in the competition. Obviously, she's better than me. Probably better than you. But I mean, for a $1 million competition, no, I didn't think she should have made it as far as she did. But yeah, most of the kids were really terrible. They got way too much credit. So yeah, dogs and kids. Dogs and kids. But yeah, America's Got Talent, season, I think it was 7. The 2012 season. Good stuff. I enjoyed it all the way through. Oh yeah, side note. I kept finding myself agreeing with Howard. I have no connection to Howard at all. I do not listen to his radio show. Never impressed with him. He's not my fucking hero. But his opinion just happened to be right there with mine 90% of the time. If he hated someone, I was usually thinking the exact same thing. If he wanted someone to go through, I was usually thinking the exact same thing. Every time he had a complaint, I was pretty much right there with him. So, and I hated Howie. Howie's opinions were terrible. He was letting people through that just really should not get through, that were just god-awful. Having said that, Howard made some massively bad choices. So I wasn't 100% on his side. Like, the band of 4 jackasses with the stupid haircut that couldn't sing, couldn't dance, couldn't play, couldn't do anything. They were fucking awful. I don't know what their name was, but they shouldn't have made it past the first round of cuts. That's how bad they were. There was nothing good about them at all. And then the judges kept raging about them choosing terrible songs. They were choosing pop songs instead of rock songs. They thought they should be a rock band. I don't care what they're singing. They were so bad, it would have been terrible regardless. No matter what. No matter what their musical choices were, they would have been terrible. That's just how bad they were. But yeah, for the most part, I agreed with Howard throughout the series. But anyways, America's Got Talent. I liked 2012 quite a bit. Hopefully the next season is that good too. Because like I said, the first few seasons were terrible. They were terrible. And then I never watched 3, 4, 5, and 6. All those ones in the middle. Maybe I'll go back and watch 6, see if it's God, I'm trying to talk too fast. See if it's any good. Let's see. What's next? Let's do some music. Brad Sucks. Might not be on here. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't. Nope, not on here. Brad Sucks has been doing copyright-free vocals for anyone to use in remixes for a long time. I don't know how long, years at least. And he does really cool vocals that pretty much anyone can work into any type of music. And because of that, he's very popular for that reason in the copyright community, copyright-free community. And I've been downloading and listening to songs using his vocals for quite a while. And now I figured I'd mention him because he's made his own album. He's actually trying to go professional, or whatever you want to call it, commercial about it, and made his own album. I don't love the album. I like him better when other people are making the music, and he's just doing the vocals. But there was a couple of decent songs on there, and I thought I'd mention him because he's something different. You have to hear his voice. His voice is really strange. It's hard to describe. It's monotone, but at the same time it's kind of not. And he's very disinterested most of the time, but at the same time he's kind of not because of the lyrics. And the lyrics are really strange. They're all about mundane things, and sometimes they don't make much sense, but it kind of works. So it's hard to describe. You have to listen to his music, his vocals. But like I said, I don't love his album. This is his first one, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's his first one. Maybe the next one will be better. I don't know. But I gotta give him some credit. Because like I said, I've been listening to remixes of his vocals for a long time. And there's some really, really good ones. Of course, like I said, that's other people making the music and him making the vocals. Completely separate. But yeah, good stuff. Let's see. How to Destroy Angels. I stumbled onto these guys literally yesterday. How to Destroy... Sorry, 2 days ago. Angels. I think it was. But they are really, really interesting. They've got some really weird song choices, music choices, but their lead singer, the female singer, is damn good. Their lyrics are good. And everything kind of works. It all kind of falls into place. I think How Long is probably my favorite of theirs. I think that's the one I put in the playlist. Like I said, there is a playlist with everything I've been talking about. Did I still have it up here? Yeah, here, see, playlist. Everything I've been talking about. Kung Fu Strike, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. There's something about everything I'm going to talk about on this list. So if you're curious about what I'm talking about, go to the damn list. Watch the list. Watch the playlist. That's why I made it. But How to Destroy Angels. Very interesting. I'm a sucker for good lead female singers. I always have been. Some of my favorite bands of all time have really strong female lead singers. So yeah, I mean, she sings really good. The music is interesting, but some of it works, some of it doesn't. But it usually comes together as a whole. Just good stuff. Check them out. And a really cool band name too. How to Destroy Angels. Really good. I mean, most band names these days are something really obvious, or some kind of variation of something that's already been done as far as names go. But that one's really cool. I like that. Really interesting. You know, it grabs your attention. Kavinsky, which is apparently tech noir, whatever the hell that is. I don't honestly know what that is. It's basically techno, but most of the vocals are done by this like Decepticon voice. You know, Decepticons are the bad guys in Transformers. Really robotic, kind of deep, you know, dark type of voice. And there's also, again, a female singer, so she's like a counterpart to his really robotic and dark and kind of evil sounding voice. She's really upbeat and happy, and it's really weird. It's a strange dynamic. And my favorite of theirs is called Night Call. Really good song. Really, just really good, well-made techno, honestly, or tech noir, whatever the hell. Apparently it's some other genre that they're trying to make, whatever. But good stuff. I liked it quite a bit. Really, really catchy background music. The vocals are just out of this world crazy. Good stuff. So I thought I'd mention them. I think that's it for the good stuff. I don't know how long this is. I didn't start my timer. It seems like I've been going quite a while. If it's getting, you know, too long, I'm terribly sorry. But anyways, we're gonna keep moving. Catherine. Catherine is in the middle so-so, you know, category. We've gone past the really good stuff and we're going to the kind of meh stuff. And Catherine's the first one on that list. A lot of people love this. Apparently got a 79 from critics and 7.6 from users. I think that's a bit high. I'd have given it about a 6. Something maybe slightly above average. 5.5, 6, something like that. The gameplay, let's go past me hating puzzle games and just, you know, I don't go out looking for puzzle games. I don't enjoy most puzzle games. They have to be really, really, really damn good. And this one wasn't really damn good. But just barring all that, this game didn't, the gameplay itself didn't change meaningfully throughout the game. You're doing the same damn thing throughout the entire game. I mean, very slight variations. And it just didn't go anywhere for me. You know, they didn't do enough with it. I mean, even though I don't like puzzle games, if they'd have kept it interesting, at least that would have been something, but they didn't. You know, it was the same damn thing. So the gameplay really let this game down for me, but the story was fucking good. It's this kind of romantic triangle thing where Vincent is this very disinterested kind of sheepish guy that, you know, he doesn't know what he wants, and he can't make any decisions, and he's kind of a flake, is what he is. But somehow he gets 2 different Catherines. One of them is his steady girlfriend, who he's known from when he was a kid, and then the second one is a succubus who shows up out of nowhere, a literal succubus. She's a demon. She shows up out of nowhere, and she's basically trying to ruin his life. And really cool dynamic between him and the 2 girls. I think he handles things really poorly, probably upfront about how I would handle things. But it's really good. I mean, I identified with him. I loved his character. I love both the Catherines. One of them was basically there for you to hate. She's a real bitch. She's the one where she has real problems and she wants him to help her with them. You know, like a real, actual, physical human being would be. But the other Catherine is basically there just to ruin his life. She's his dream girl. She's there to basically put him in really bad situations. And the story itself is it's really well made. It's really good. The characters are great. His buddies constantly giving him advice, and they're kind of in the same problem with the dream sequences. That's where the gameplay comes in. But yeah, I mean, all of it was really well made. I loved the story in this game. It's just too bad the gameplay wasn't there with it, in my opinion. I mean, it was very mediocre gameplay at the start, and then they never did anything with it throughout the rest of the game. It just became a slog for me, honestly. But yeah, the story at the very least is worth seeing. You can actually check out the story in and of itself on YouTube. I think it's about like an hour and a half long worth of story throughout the game. You can just watch the story and completely ignore the game itself. Not have to go through the gameplay. But yeah, really, really good. I just, I really hated the, it's a dichotomy. I really hated the gameplay. I really liked the story. So, and a game is meant to be both. I hate people that are like, oh, well, if it has a great story, it should get a pass. No, it shouldn't. If the gameplay's fucking terrible, it should not get a pass. You know? You don't give it a high score like, you know, fucking basically 8 out of 10 just for the story. The gameplay was crap. The gameplay never evolved into anything interesting. So yeah, you don't give it a pass. It's the same for the opposite too. I mean, if a game is, it's literally a game that does not need a story, a game that has no story at all. You know, like, let's say, Tetris. Tetris did not need a story, okay? But if it's a game based around a story, and the story's shit, it should suffer for it. You know, the score should suffer for it, is what I'm trying to get at. But, yeah, Catherine. 5.5, 6, something like that. 100% for the story, literally. The gameplay was just a throwaway completely. Let's see. Syndicate. Syndicate is the definition of average. I went into it wanting, basically, Deus Ex, but more, you know, action-packed and faster-paced and that kind of thing. I thought that's what I was going to get. Like, you know, a more action movie version of the Deus Ex games. It's not. It's very, very by-the-numbers average. I mean, the story is garbage, obviously. The characters are garbage, obviously. The superpower system, it's called apps in this game, applications. It's all been done before. You've seen every single one of these apps in other games. Called different things, obviously, but it's all been done. The gunplay, it's well made but boring. I mean, there's no real special guns in this game to give you anything to latch onto that's different about this game. That's probably one thing that it suffered from. I mean, usually games like this, they have something interesting that no one else has. You know, like, what am I going to say off the top of my head? Most of the games that have some kind of time alteration feature, they try to do something new with it. Or the one that had the gravity feature where you could switch gravity all the time. Or, you know, there's always some kind of gimmick. That's what I'm looking for, gimmick. Games like this always have some kind of gimmick that's their own. Sometimes the gimmick sucks, sometimes it's good. Just depends. But this one didn't have that gimmick. It had nothing to suck you in. And the gameplay and the story and all that is just, you know, paint by fucking numbers. So I can't survive on that alone. It was the definition of an average game. I mean, a lot of people raved about the co-op. I didn't think the co-op was much better than the single player, honestly. Obviously, you have more people there, but it was the same fucking game, you know? I mean, it was co-op is inherently more fun than single player in a lot of cases. I didn't see it in this one, honestly. I really didn't. So, yeah, it was a mediocre game. I mean, I'd probably get right about it at 5. It didn't do anything wrong. It did what it was meant to do. It just wasn't entertaining. I don't know how else to put it. There was nothing special about it to hook me, I guess, would be the bottom line. Let's see. Oh, that's another thing that I meant to mention about this game. There's too few of the powers. Games like this, you need a lot of variety. There was a handful of apps. I think there's like 3 or 4. And none of them, like I said, none of them were anything new. It was like a combination of Mass Effect powers and time control, time manipulation. It just wasn't interesting. But anyways, enough about Syndicate. House of Lies. This is another TV series. This one is on Showtime, and I give it right about at average. Maybe a 5, maybe a 5.5. The characters were really good. The comedy was entertaining. Their interactions with each other, the main cast, the 4 consultants, was entertaining. The problem was everything else. Everything else was a real slog and a drag, and it pulled the show down. Every time Marty's son shows up on screen and they try to turn into a drama, fail. Every time his dad is on screen, every time his brother's on screen, Jeannie Bean's stupid fiance, and the new relationship between what's his name? The dorky guy with the glasses, him and his girlfriend. I don't care about any of that. I mean, they should have stuck to the 4 main cast doing what they do. Going out, ripping people off, making fun of people, making fun of each other, getting into shenanigans. That's what made this series entertaining. But a good, 25 to 50%, depending on episode, is just crap. Because it's all that other drama crap that has nothing to do with what makes the series great. So yeah, I mean, I've still been watching it, but I fast forward. I'm watching it on Showtime Anytime or whatever the hell it is online. if you have a Showtime account, you can watch any of their shows online, and you can fast forward and slow down, and there's no commercials and all that. I've been watching on that, and I just fast forward all through the garbage and get back to them doing their consulting stuff, because that's where this show shines. Apparently they don't realize that, and it's going to screw them over. I guarantee you it's going to screw them over. I mean, look at these reviews. Yeah, there we go, user score. That's exactly how I feel right there. It already has screwed them over. The users have spoken, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it's not what it should be. It's bottom line. I'm trying to speed this up a little bit. Towns. Towns wants to be Dwarf Fortress, and it is not Dwarf Fortress. It's not even close. Not yet, anyway. I put it in. It has a graphical engine. That's the big difference between Dwarf Fortress and Towns. It's fully 3D and all that. But the problem is, it just doesn't have any of the features yet that Dwarf Fortress has. When I say it's like Dwarf Fortress, I mean it is Dwarf Fortress. They're trying to be Dwarf Fortress. You can tell. It's the exact same game. They don't have any of the depth yet, and that's a big problem. That's what makes Dwarf Fortress fun. I mean, if you played that game and your sole goal was to build a building and defend against one type of, maybe two types of enemies, and that's it, that's the entire gameplay, you'd be bored off your ass. I mean, none of the little things made it into this game yet. I mean, and besides that, there's plenty of things that don't even work yet. Plenty of things are just still broken, so it's a mess. Does it have potential? Sure. Will it ever beat Dwarf Fortress? Probably not. I mean, I don't need it to be in full 3D. I don't need a graphical engine for Dwarf Fortress to be amazing. Maybe some people do. I don't know. Maybe they'll love this game whenever this game actually gets going. But as of right now, it's pretty crap. I figured I'd mention it because I tried it, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Very underwhelming. Let's see. Dawnstar. Dawnstar wants to be Darkstar. And Darkstar wanted to be Wing Commander. And it's just a steady decline. I mean, I'm sorry, but Darkstar is a decent game. I stress decent, but it's not Wing Commander. And this game, Dawnstar, is not even Darkstar. It's just plain bad. The controls are awful. If you try to go into the options to fix them, it's a fucking mess. It just doesn't work. The graphics they're okay for this kind of game, this low-budget type of game. They're decent. The music tried to be kind of cowboy bebop, this kind of jazzy type stuff. I didn't hate it. It was okay, but the main problem was the gameplay just wasn't there. The gameplay was not solid. It wasn't fluid. There wasn't enough to it. There wasn't enough substance to it. It just wasn't entertaining. Darkstar kind of had that problem. I'll go ahead and look up Darkstar so you see what I'm talking about. I think it's Darkstar 1. Yeah. This game wanted to be Wing Commander, and it kind of had the same problem that the gameplay got really, really repetitive. It was much better than Dawnstar, where you had multiple different types of weapons and the way you can customize your ship and more variety in the enemies and stuff like that. But it's still, even then, it was a really long game, and it kind of became, too much of the same by the end. And the story was complete garbage. Complete garbage. The story in this one's garbage too, Dawnstar. But, you couldn't play it for the story like you could for Wing Commander, because the Wing Commander series had some of the best story ever. But, yeah, I mean, it was a so-so game, but Dawnstar feels like they just copy-pasted so much of the gameplay from this game and got it all wrong. I mean, this is like the successful version of Dawnstar. But, yeah, I mean, Darkstar 1, worth a look, especially if you like Wing Commander. Dawnstar, not so much. I don't think I'd give this a 7. I haven't played it in quite a while. I mean, like, years. When did this thing come out? Does it say on here? 2006, yeah. I probably played it in 2008 or so, quite a while ago, and my memory's a little bit fuzzy on it. I never went back to play it again, but 7 sounds a little bit high. Maybe a 6-ish, something like that. 7 sounds a little bit generous, but not too far off. Interesting, the users and the reviewers are identical. Their score is identical. You don't see that very often. But yeah, Dawnstar, underwhelming. I would seriously stay away from it. And it has problems on top of that. Let's see. Cladoon X2. Why is this on the bad list? Because, oh yeah, I didn't score Dawnstar. I'd probably give it about a 3. And then the Towns, probably about a 2. Something like that, because it just has way too many problems. But, Cladoon X2. Cladoon X2, a game with massive potential. Amazingly, really crazy good music. It has two completely different soundtracks, live action and then this like retro 8-bit soundtrack. They're both really damn good. The graphics are pixelated, 8-bit, really nice looking. The gameplay was fun, simple. I stress simple gameplay. It's mostly you run around dungeons slashing things, but it's really, really addictive, really fun. The problem lies because this game has a serious crashing problem on both platforms. I played it on the PSP for the first time, I think it was like a year ago, and every time I went to save, it was a crapshoot whether the game would crash. And then they came out with a port of it for the PC, and I tried that last week. Same exact problem, but in a different place. Every time I'd load out of dungeons, it was a crapshoot whether or not the game would crash. So it has serious, problems in the gameplay, the game itself, like the infrastructure of the game itself. It has problems, which is really too bad because, like I said, the gameplay is fun. It's addictive. What little I could get through between the crashes. It looks nice. It sounds nice. The story is even kind of entertaining in places. It's got some decent little humor bits thrown in there. One of my favorite mechanics about the game, you can create your own weapons and armor, your faces, your body, your legs, your feet. You can basically rebuild anything using these little pixel blocks. Like I said, think about like 8-bit games like Chrono Trigger. That's what it's going to look like, that kind of thing. The old Final Fantasy games. But you can create your own characters, make them look like whoever you want. Really, really fun. Really early on, I remade all of the Romancing Saga characters. If you haven't played that game, one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I've got to get around to doing some RPGs. But I remade my favorite group out of that, like Gray and Claudia and Neidhart, Aisha. Who was the fifth one? Herman was the fifth one. I remade all of them, and they looked really damn good in game. But like I said, the game just crashes all the damn time, man. I mean, I really want to like this game, but I got to give it about like a 1 out of 10 because it's unfucking playable. I mean, literally 50% of the time, when you load out of dungeons, it crashes. And that's the PC version. When you load out of dungeons, it crashes. And you can't save in dungeons. So loading out of a dungeon and it crashes means you have to start the entire dungeon over again. The entire dungeon floor over again, over and over, because it just keeps crashing. It's unfucking playable, which is really too bad. And I don't get it. I mean, there's problems with both versions. For me, at the very least. Like I said, both of them crash. I don't know. Whatever. I really wanted to like the game, but I just can't. I can't. It's not possible. Let's see. Bayonetta. This is one of my favorite genres to hate. Like Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, and all that stuff. What is it? What do they call it? I'm trying to remember the name. Spectacle Fighter, or whatever. These have more true difficulty built into them, but that's basically what it is. You're running around doing all these flashy moves and looking really cool and all that stuff. But these games live and die by their difficulty, and Bayonetta just wasn't hard enough for me. There's a lot of cool moves and a lot of cool mechanics and stuff like that. I didn't need them 99% of the time, because the game was just too easy. I mean, you compare this to like the original Devil May Cry, or like my favorite example of this genre, Ninja Gaiden Black. This game's a cakewalk. It's a cakewalk compared to them. I mean, and plus there's too many canned combos that you see over and over again. It gets really, really tiresome. You didn't see that in like Ninja Gaiden Black because it's all about sword slashes. You had special moves, but you couldn't use them all the time. They were magic based. So yeah, I mean, too many canned combos that you just kept doing over and over again. You saw the same little movement, special move thing over and over again. It got really boring. But beyond that, I mean, the story was meh. It was kind of batshit crazy. It was entertaining in spots, but it was also a drag in slots. It really slowed down quite a bit, and it wasn't interesting enough for those slow drama moments. It looked okay, I guess. Everything looks good these days, so saying a game looks good really isn't a compliment anymore. The gameplay worked, but like I said, it just wasn't. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. Let's just put it that way. And it sure shit was not hard enough. It should have been far more difficult. I mean, like I said, games like this where they have all these special mechanics for dodging and countering, and and special moves that you have to time right, and it's all timing based. None of that stuff matters if the game's not hard enough. You don't need any of it. It all becomes fluff. So, This is an example of a game in the genre that just wasn't difficult enough for me, honestly. I think it was way overhyped. Yeah, 9. Really, a 9? Are you shitting me? Wow. Okay, that's way too high. 8, getting closer. I'd say about maybe a 7-ish. I mean, it worked, and I had some fun with it. I went all the way through it. I didn't stop during the middle. I'd shave about 3 points off just because the difficulty wasn't there. That's my biggest complaint. The difficulty wasn't there. And I hated the damn combos that you just saw over and over and over and over throughout the entire game. That's why most games like this, the stuff that you spam are just sword slashes or gunshots or something like that. Because that doesn't get old. You know, I mean, you're never going to have everyone complaining that, oh, I see this guy slashing someone in half too often. No, that should be the go-to move for these type of games. Not combo systems, but, whatever. Let's see. Oh, SimCity. Oh my god. SimCity is a train wreck. The new one. Yeah, the 2013 one. I'm not going to go into the DRM, the always-on DRM. People that buy games that have always-on DRM, they get what they deserve, honestly. Just bottom line. People should know by now with the Diablo 3 fiasco. If it has always-online DRM, stay the fuck away from it. I mean, it's common fucking sense at this point. But ignoring all that, this game has massive, massive problems. We're talking about, like, bugs and glitches, and you can't even save the fucking game in places, and it loses your saves, and just huge, ridiculous, massive laundry list of problems. And beyond that, when you actually get into the meat of the gameplay, it's like a dumbed-down, smaller version of SimCity. You get these tiny little fucking crap-ass plots that are, at best, if you're playing single-player, they're massively separated, so it's not like it's even a city anymore. But in the stupid-ass multiplayer, it's like you're managing one little section of a real city. That's what it feels like. And that's not entertaining to me. This game is about making a giant-ass city and making it work. You know, a massive-ass city and juggling it all. The series, that's what the series is about. This one feels like you're like some little speck of a city. You know, you're like some little cross-section of a city. I don't like it. I mean, it didn't need to be multiplayer. Bottom line, it didn't need to be multiplayer. They took what was great about SimCity and just fucked with it for no reason, in my opinion. So, I don't like the base gameplay. I hate the way they handled the interface, too. That's another thing I can't fucking stand. They streamlined a lot of the controls, which was a good idea, but the interface is fucking ridiculously bad. But yeah, I mean, the gameplay, I hate it. I can't stand it. Someone asked me to check out this game in one of the comments. I did. I checked it out. I actually played it on one of my buddy's computers. I do that a lot when I want to try a game. I don't feel like, plunking down money, especially for this, where it had the always-on DRM. There was no way I was going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. But, yeah, I tried it on his, and it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a joke. 1.7, yes. Users. Nailed it on the motherfucking head. This guy's an idiot, obviously. This guy's an idiot, obviously. 6 is way too high. But, yeah, the average being 1.7, the vast majority of people hit this nail right on the motherfucking head. Good job. Let them know that this game sucks. It's terrible. It's a travesty. It's an atrocity. I mean, if they continue with this type of gameplay in the next SimCity, whenever the hell that'll be several years from now. But if they continue with this type of gameplay, I'll never touch SimCity ever again. Just bottom line, because the fundamental gameplay now is crap. It is terrible. I'm sorry. I mean, this stupid ass little cross-section thing where you don't have a full city at your disposal should have been the multiplayer only, section of the game. They should have had the old style of SimCity for the single player. At the very least, I couldn't complain about the gameplay at that point. It'd still have all the bugs and problems and all that shit, although I think most of that is due to the always online. So maybe this would have been a great single player game if they'd just kept got rid of the always online, obviously, and kept the single player as the way it was, the way it used to be. It could have been a great game, because it's very pretty. It looks really nice. It doesn't run really smoothly from what I've seen, and it has so many damn problems, but yeah, I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. 1.7, very justified. Hell, I'd have given it lower than that, like a 1, or maybe even below a 1. That's how bad this game is. So yeah, SimCity, fucking train wreck. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass 2. They're making a Kick-Ass 2. How amazing is that? That is amazing. I don't know who made this happen, but thank you very much, whoever the hell you are. Random producer man or whoever, director. Whoever the hell made this happen, thank you very much. I love you. Kick-Ass was a really damn good movie. It was a fucking ride, is what it was. It was a roller coaster ride. It was really good action, really good story, kind of a dark layer to it. People do die in this, even though it's about kids becoming superheroes. People do die. There is blood and gore and all that. Really good movie. Damn good. Really snappy lines too in Kick-Ass. And I'm hoping Kick-Ass 2 is just as good. I watched the trailer. It looks like it's gonna be really good. They threw Jim Carrey in there for the hell of it. I don't actually know what his character is about at this point, but why not? Sounds good. But yeah, they kept the two main characters. They're the same actors. Crucial. I'm glad they did. But it just looks damn good. I'm really excited for it. I don't get excited for much, honestly. At this point, I mean, something always goes wrong, it seems like, for the most part. So I try not to get invested in anything until it actually comes out, so I can actually see it. But this is going to be damn good, I hope. So, Kick-Ass 2. Yes, please. Thank you. What else? Oh yeah, we're getting to the end. Something really good and something really bad. I did this in the last episode. This isn't necessarily something that I played or watched or whatever from last month. This is just throughout history, something that's really damn good that I like a lot, and something that's really bad. I'm going to start with the really bad. Postal 3. One of the biggest fucking disappointments ever. The trailer didn't look that bad. It didn't look amazing, but didn't look that bad. Then we get the game, and it's just full of bugs, full of crashes, full of freezes, audio loops out of nowhere for no fucking reason. It likes to chug for no reason when it's loading. Just all kinds of fucking problems with this game. And beyond that, when you can actually get to the gameplay, it isn't Postal 2. That's just, I mean, really, that sums it up right there. It's the comedy doesn't have that same, catch you off guard humor that Postal 2 did. It's just not there. It's all forced and crap. And the gameplay, it's a lot like Postal 2, but again, it really doesn't have that unconventional, humor that comes out of nowhere because of the way the the NPCs worked in that game and the way the guns worked and all that. It doesn't work. It does not work. Plus, they made it like these episodes too, which was stupid as hell, but whatever. It's a fucking train wreck. It was a disappointment. One of the biggest disappointments in a long time, because I love Postal 2. Revocaine did a really good LP of Postal 2 as well, which was really fun. But, it's just, it was a massive disappointment. Really bad. I'd give it a 0 out of 10. Nothing about that game worked. Nothing. They had no idea what made Postal 2 great. And beyond that, like I said, I mean, it's just filled to the brim with problems, bugs, glitches, crashes, freezes, everything that could go wrong. I mean, the audio fucks up left and right. It's just a mess. It's a mess. But it's too bad because, like I said, I love Postal 2. Postal 2 is a great game. It's got really raunchy, humor in it, but it's really fun. It's one of those games where you never really know what the NPCs are going to do or how they're going to react to what you do, and things never really turn out the way they probably should. It's very unconventional, the gameplay, and it's very fun. Plus, what other game can you use a live cat as a silencer for your gun? It's great. Postal 2 great. Postal 2 gets 5 thumbs up, and Postal 3 gets just like a 0 out of 10. It gets a -1 out of 10. I'm going to go below the chart for this one. It gets a -1 out of 10. So, yeah. It's above and beyond anything that could be bad. That's how bad Postal 3 was. Something really good. The Matrix. I love The Matrix. The Matrix does not get enough credit, in my opinion. First and foremost, Keanu Reeves is not that bad. Yes, he was that bad early on in his career, but he was so bad that it was good. Period. You can't even argue that. And then later on in his career, he became passable. People, because of his early career, they just never gave him any credit. He became passable by The Matrix, and by now he's had decent movies. He's like fucking Tom Cruise. He's in good movies. They're not necessarily good because of him, but he doesn't fuck them up, So Yeah, Keanu Reeves is not anywhere near as bad as people give him credit for. And beyond that, I mean, I loved the story. It was a little too ambitious for its own britches, but it was good. I liked it. It was entertaining. I'm a sucker for sci-fi action movies. The action in the Matrix series for its time was fucking amazing. The choreography, the things they pulled off in the action scenes, they were damn good. There was really nothing else coming out of America at that time that was that good as far as fight choreography goes. It was a blast to watch. And slow motion wasn't overused by then either. I mean, it was just good stuff. I loved all the fight scenes, all the combat. The dialogue was really punchy. It was really good. The storyline was a little bit too much to take, and it was kind of, too much soft science and too much ridiculousness going on. They were trying to be way too philosophical about it and all that crap, and the whole Jesus reference, all that horseshit. But if you can get past that, it was a really good series. I liked it a lot. I mean, almost all the elements worked. It had a great soundtrack too, by the way. Great soundtrack. Looked really nice. The design, set design, costume design, all that stuff kicked ass. None of the actors fucked anything up. Like I said, Keanu Reeves was passable. Lawrence Fishburne was really good. Agent Smith, to this day I don't know what the hell his name is, but he was fucking amazing. I love Agent Smith. He might be my favorite character from that series. Mr. Anderson. I really like Agent Smith, but yeah, I love that series. It does not get enough credit. A lot of people hate the entire series. I completely disagree with them, but more so, a lot of people like the first movie and didn't like the second two. I thought the second two, the sequel, and then the third one in the series, the finale of the series, I thought they were just more of the same. I didn't think they fucked anything up, between the first one and the sequels. I thought it was just more of the same, which is a continuation. The fight scenes were just as good. The choreography and, the set designs, costume designs, music, everything. The story was still batshit crazy, but you should have expected that from the first movie. Everything else was just more of the same, and it was all just as good, in my opinion. I had no problem with the second or third one. If anything, probably my biggest letdown was the ending. The ending was fucking stupid. I mean, it was a climax that didn't actually climax. Obviously, you had the fight where the Sentinels burst into, what the fuck's the city called? I can't remember right now. My memory's terrible. But, Zion, yeah, okay. So when the Sentinels burst into Zion and you have that big fight, that should have been the climax. Whatever happened at the end of that scene should have been the end of the movie. They shouldn't have had the whole tangent where Neo and Trinity are off, like, trying to go after the Machine City and all that horseshit, because that was just anticlimactic as hell. That whole little segment of the story. And then the very end of the movie, what happens to Neo is just lame. But, barring that, the rest of the series, it's just a blast. I go back and watch it all the time. I love it. It does not get enough credit. Especially the fight scenes. I love the fight scenes. They did so much with those fight scenes because they had such a huge budget. And, whoever their choreographer was amazing. So, yeah, really good. Really good. I think my favorite fight scene, it's either the one where he's fighting a million Agent Smiths. That had some really cool moves in it. And the earlier one in the train station, the subway station, that one kicked a massive ass. Where Neo and Agent Smith truly face off for the first time. That one was badass. That was a really good scene. And the gun scene, not a fight scene, but the gun scene, the gun kata scene from when they burst into the office building or whatever, and he goes through the metal detector and opens his shirt. The guy says, "Do you take all your metal off or whatever?" He opens his shirt and he's like, "Holy shit!" Because he's got like his entire body's covered in guns. That was a great scene. Everything about that scene was good. But yeah, I love The Matrix. I always will. I don't think, as much as I love it, I don't think they should revisit it. I don't think they should go back because it's been too much time between the first three. They'll fuck it up. If any amount of time comes between a good series and them trying to continuate it, they have to do something very different for it to be any good. If they try to make it too much like those first three, it's going to fail. It's just, like I said, there's been too much time between the trilogy and now. But I love it. I love the trilogy. I love all the characters, all the actors. I even like the storyline. I don't love it because, like I said, it's kind of a mess. But I do like it. I do enjoy it. It's good for a few chuckles. But yeah, good stuff. I think that's pretty much it. I'm finally done for this particular month. Standouts, like I said, Kung Fu Strike, fucking amazing. If you like difficult games, if you like fighting games, try it out. It's not even really a fighting game. You're not stringing together combos or pulling off special moves. Don't think of it like that. It's more of a button masher that requires ridiculously good timing, is what it is. But yeah, really, really good, really well made. What else? Really bad. Clyde X 2 is the biggest disappointment for this particular month. Like I said, I really wanted to play that game. I really, really did. I was really liking what little of it I could get through. Just too many crashes. Way too many crashes. And then, like I said, check out the playlist. Like I said, everything I've talked about is on this playlist. Kung Fu Strike, Eternal Spotless, Sun, Cladoon, Kick-Ass, Trailer, Evil Dead. It looks really damn good. Vikings, History Channel, looks really damn good. Did I talk about The Call? I don't know if I did or not. The Call, yeah, Halle Berry, right, yeah, okay. Halle Berry, it looks okay, I guess. Looks decent. Could be better than it looks, but I doubt it. But, yeah, that's it for this particular month, Rant. And I'll see you guys next time. Rant portion. TV. House of Cards, I've heard the name, I don't know much about it. Vikings, it's made by the History Channel. If you know anything about me, I love the History Channel. I love National Geographic, Discovery, all that stuff. I usually have them going in the background when I'm playing a game. Not recording, obviously, because then I'd get copyright popping up left and right. But when I'm not recording, I usually got one of those channels going in the background. Or music, one of the two. But yeah, I looked at the trailer for it. There's multiple trailers. It's been playing on History Channel. It just looks good. It just looks really good. I'm going to have to check it out. Obviously, it's about Vikings, and it's History Channel, so it's going to be semi-realistic. You know, that should explain everything you need to know about it right there. It's Vikings, and it's the History Channel. The trailers look very 300-esque, look kind of dark and gritty and that kind of thing, but I don't know if the actual show is going to be like that. It is the History Channel. So, I don't know. We'll see. Bates Motel, if it's Hitchcockian at all, I'll probably love it. You know, probably good stuff. I haven't actually watched anything about it. The World According to Dick Cheney, I don't really care about politics. I hate that crap where that individual person makes a difference crap. No, they don't. They don't. Because even if you make the decision to try and make a difference, everyone else isn't going to. So, and we're never going to, you know, we're never going to change anything meaningfully as a single person. And you'd have to be one of those guys that runs around and gets everyone's attention and, you know, like, parades and rallies and all that crap to make any real difference. And that's only on a local level, not a national level. So, yeah, I don't really care about politics. The Bible, I really don't care about the Bible. I'm not anti-religious, don't get me wrong. I don't care what people believe in. I think that's fine. Whatever they want to believe in is fine, but I've never been religious, so I really don't care about a Bible series. Does not work for me. David Bowie, already knew about this. I've heard a little bit of it. Sounds pretty damn good. I love David Bowie. Always have. Again, if you've been with this channel for a while, you know I love David Bowie. Justin Timberlake, I couldn't care less. Devendra Banhart, I don't know who that is. Original soundtrack, Sound City. I don't know what the hell this is either. I'll check this out after. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi's a chick band, has always been a chick band, will always be a chick band. Women like to drool over him. I mean, I've never liked their music. They had like a couple of decent, and I stress decent songs in their first album, but they were never really anything special, honestly. It was Bon Jovi there for his looks and his hair, basically, and the stupid outfits that he wears. One of his album covers, he's wearing like this solid gold glittery suit, the entire thing. It just looks fucking ridiculous. It's okay. And I never got into the multiplayer, because if I did, I'd probably never stop. I mean, that thing is so fucking competitive. It's one of those games where if it's a multiplayer game and it has a really competitive scene, I kind of get sucked in because I want to do really well. I don't want to be one of the ones that's casual and just sucks and gets raped by everyone. That doesn't work for me. So I kind of bypass the multiplayer altogether for StarCraft 2. Because like I said, I mean, it's extremely competitive. I'd have to clock massive amounts of hours to even be half decent, and I just don't want to do that. New God of War game, if they don't fuck it up, if they keep to the formula, it'll be good. They've always been good. I mean, I've liked them all. I've never done a video on it. I don't think I've talked about it, but I've always liked God of War. Love the first one. The second one, in my opinion, was even better than the first one. Since then, the series hasn't been as good, but it's still all been, really well made and fun to play, and it's like a brawler, basically. It's like a mix between a brawler and a Devil May Cry, because it's got some depth to the combat. The only problem is the game isn't hard enough for you to need that depth. Those games, those like Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, and all that, they live and die by the difficulty. If the game is not hard in that type of game where you have, really hard combos and timed moves and all that stuff, like timed blocks and counters and all that. If the game's not difficult, none of that stuff matters, and the game becomes boring. So, but God of War, it's always been fun, because it's more like a brawler. It's more like a beat 'em up kind of. I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, always been good. Always liked it. Always liked Kratos because he just doesn't give a fuck. Kratos is awesome. So yeah, I'll play this one definitely. Gears of War, I haven't cared since the first game. I liked the first game decently well, but there was too many things core to the gameplay that they just stuck with that I never really liked. Never liked the way you run. Never liked the way they had that sticky-ass, weird fucking cover mechanic. I did like that you could blind fire. A lot of games at that time didn't have blind fire. But now fucking everyone has it, so who cares? Never liked the story. Never liked the characters. I did like the atmosphere of the first game, but they lost that in the continued ones. Especially that level where you're driving around with that big-ass flashlight on top of your whatever kind of truck that thing was. That was a really cool level. I liked that a lot. And if you played it on hard mode with a buddy in co-op, no end to the rage, because someone was always doing something wrong during that level. Either the guy was driving for shit or you couldn't aim the flashlight. But yeah, it had a lot of really cool moments in the first game. I liked it. But after that, it seemed like it was just kind of formulaic. It was just more of the same. And it just didn't appeal to me. So this probably won't appeal to me. I'm going to be honest. SimCity I'm going to talk about in the... I've never been a huge fan of Halle Berry. She's attractive, obviously. She always has been. But as far as, like, acting chops, she's somewhere in the middle of the pack. She's never been amazing. She's never stood out, in my opinion. So, Plus, she's been in a lot of really crappy movies. But it looks okay, I guess. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone looks awful. It's that really terrible kind of cheesy-ass comedy that, I don't know, I've never really got into that lowbrow, no, not even lowbrow, because, I mean, that's not really it. It's just, I don't know how to put it, no talent comedy, no effort put into it at all comedy. The easiest kind of comedy you could ever make. It looks terrible. I'm just going to be honest. Games, Tomb Raider, I'm thoroughly uninterested. I was big into the first Tomb Raider, played the second one quite a bit, and that's it. I stopped playing after that. I lost interest. This one's kind of a reboot in that it's got some of the same kind of gameplay, but it's got a ton of changes. It's like, what is it called? There's a new game series, I think it's 3 games up to this point, where Nathan Drake, is that what it's called? Something like that. He's running around exploring, finding artifacts, and shooting dudes and all that stuff, climbing on things. It's basically that. It's that game again, except with the Tomb Raider title, from what I can tell. I'm not interested. It's not really Tomb Raider anymore. Especially from what I've heard about the story. It's really not Tomb Raider anymore at all. So, they tried to be too much like that Nathan Drake game. I don't know what the title is. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm thoroughly uninterested. StarCraft 2, some kind of expansion. I thought StarCraft 2 was a really well-made, polished game that just wasn't that interesting. I wasn't big into the multiplayer. I'm just going to say that right now. If you're big into the multiplayer, I'm coming from a completely different perspective than you. I came from just a single player. I didn't care about the multiplayer. And it wasn't that interesting. I mean, people were raving about the storyline for it. I thought it was par for the course for this type of game. I mean, it had high production values, but as far as like the story itself and the characters, it was okay. And the gameplay was, I liked it a lot. I liked the gameplay more than I liked the story. They took what StarCraft 2 did right and they didn't fuck it up, and they added in a bunch of other cool stuff. I love the walkers. I love the Protoss. Period. I mean, they were always my favorite race. and they just have some really cool new units. So as far as the gameplay goes, StarCraft 2 gets the thumbs up, but as far as everything else, it was just kind of par for the course for me. Alright, hello people, I'm the Dude, and this is my review rant of all things for March 2013. This will be the third, fourth one I've done, I think, something like that in the series. Today, for this particular monthly review rant, I have created a playlist. Probably the easiest way to find it, go to my channel page, go to browse videos, and it'll be one of the top ones on the playlist. I don't think it posts playlists to subscribers. Maybe there's a way to set that up, I don't know. But it's this one right here, March 2013 rant playlist. Everything I'm going to be talking about in the video, there is a little trailer or, you know, some kind of gameplay footage or something attached in this playlist right here. So it should give you something to look at to know what I'm talking about. Someone was complaining there's not enough video footage. That would take forever to edit in. This is supposed to be an easy, simple thing that I can, you know, just produce. And if I start editing in footage from all the things I'm talking about, that would take massive amount of time. It's just not going to happen. So hopefully the playlist will satiate them. Vocabulary word of the day, folks. Okay, so March 2013. I think we'll start with new things like I did last time. I don't know what that is. I should have looked that up, but I didn't even notice it. From Up on Poppy Hill. Okay, interesting title. Spring Breaker's gonna suck. Evil Dead surprised me. The Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, great stuff. This one looks more serious than funny, whereas Evil Dead was more funny than serious. This one, it looks like it's flipped around, but it looks damn good. The trailer looks really good. I'm seriously looking forward to this. I had no idea this was even coming until I decided to do this this rant and just having a look at the front page. This looks good. I'm hoping it's as good as it looks. The Call, it's got, oh, what's her name? My memory sucks. Halle Berry. It's got Halle Berry in it. She is a phone operator for the police. Someone calls in, she gets them killed, apparently, and then the killer keeps going after girls, and they keep calling, and for some reason she's always on duty, I guess. But at some point she's going to help a person escape from the killer or whatever. It's been done. I don't know if it's been done as a call dispatcher, probably, but I know it's been done before, where someone's in danger, they call someone, and that person has to try and help them. But it looks, I don't know, it looks okay. But yeah, Bon Jovi, wow. I will most definitely not care in the slightest. But anyways, there's all the new stuff. Let's get into the stuff I've actually tried for this particular month. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Did I say that right? Yes. Okay, so this is a, I don't even know how to put this. It's like a drama, character piece / comedy, dark comedy. It's very confusing. The plot's really hard to follow in places, but it's Jim Carrey doing something other than you know, the slapstick crap, and it kind of worked. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. It has a lot of actors in it. It has Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, Kirsten Dunst, Elijah Wood, that Furlough guy. There's a credits on here somewhere. Yes. What is his name? Furlough, Buffalo, something. Sorry, guy, but I don't know what your name is. I'm terribly sorry. Very unprofessional. Yeah, Ruffalo. Okay, Mark Ruffalo. Has a lot of people in it. And it was a good ride. I liked it. Did a lot of unusual things I didn't see coming. Obviously, there's going to be spoilers. There's spoilers in all these rant review things I do, so from here until the end of the video, just expect spoilers. Jim Carrey is dating Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet dumps him. He wants to erase her memories from his mind, so he goes to some kind of quack doctor guy, and they set it up. They put him under, and they're erasing his memories. He's reliving the memories as they're erasing them in his mind, but he can't actually communicate with them. He's unconscious. And halfway through the procedure, he decides he doesn't want to lose Kate Winslet. He doesn't want to lose the memories. So he's fighting to hide his own memories from these people who are trying to erase them. And you have this really cool dynamic between the people in, I don't want to say the real world, the conscious people, the people who are conscious erasing his memories, and him, his unconscious world, which is completely, off the wall and batshit crazy. And he can actually hear them talking. And as they're erasing memories, he feels them, he feels himself losing them in his unconscious mind. It's really cool. The dynamic between the two, and it's a race against the clock. He's losing the memories, and he keeps trying to hide them and trying to save them. And the whole time, Kate Winslet is in his head with him. His memory of Kate Winslet is in his head, and they're doing the whole, romantic angle and the comedy together. Which the comedy was pretty good, not amazing. It's not like Jim Carrey's best or anything, but it was good. And the ending was pretty cool. I didn't see the ending coming. I thought I saw the ending coming. I didn't. It was something entirely different. So, yeah, I liked it.